But then he goes on television and says, oh, Trump is a dictator. He's a dictator. And a lot of people have heard. So the line is that I'm a dictator, but I stop crime. So a lot of people say, if that's the case, I'd rather have a dictator.
Can you even believe that we're watching this in the United States of America? I mean, these people have zero self-respect. It is just so laughable.
I found myself last night just here in private, because Kimberly and I do an ongoing podcast that we don't record here at our house. And I was just going off, trying to figure out the psychology of those cabinet meetings, whether Donald actually believes that they're sincerely complimenting him, or whether it's just the gesture that he likes because it's a show of respect, or I'm just trying to unravel whatever the hell that is every time they have a cabinet meeting and they go around the table and just mooch and motorboat away. It's just unbelievable.
Kim Jong-un, like
happening.
A half an hour in, is like, "Are you kidding
really?"
me?
Yeah.
This went on 3 hours, and this is all it is. It's just them, for 3 hours. They're not like, and it's all imaginary accomplishments, right? It's like when you solved the war between Narnia and Wakanda, sir.
That's right. He will soon
the Noble Committee.
Jetpacks made of beef.
Yep.
When you got everyone in America jetpacks made of beef, sir.
Yeah. And he'll win the Nobel Prize, the noblest of Nobel prizes.
The noblest.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, Bob.
What kind of fiction are we living in?
I mean,
my God.
Meanwhile, back here on Earth One, Brendan said, in my view, Trump may already be entirely medically and cognitively checked out, and the U.S. presidency has been fully taken over by Stephen Miller. He is enacting a carbon copy of Putin's takeover of Russia in the early 2000s. Look it up. There's practically no difference. I mean, we've been talking about it. You've been talking about it. Oh my God. Yeah. He is literally decaying from the inside out. And it's,
he really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm expecting that hand to just crumble away like he's got leprosy or something. It's really super gross. And the less time I have to spend on thinking about Donald Trump's hand, the happier I will be, because it is just utterly disgusting. So, I'm rooting for something to happen, but I can't really say, I'm not at liberty to say what that thing is. Well, but you know what? We can just say things like that, and everyone knows what we're talking about.
There's a reason everybody from J.D. Vance on down has compared him to Hitler. I think he is an evil, malign character in this world that you can't, there is no, like... I mean, you can't even pretend like, oh, I'll be sad for a second.
Right.
I think that...
Right. And it's compounded, Stephanie, by Stephen Miller. It's like Donald already has these horrible instincts, and then Stephen Miller enables everything that's coming out of Donald's mouth, the worst possible things. And we know what makes Stephen Miller...
Yeah, he just called Democrats a terrorist organization yesterday.
A domestic extremist organization. Yeah. Yes, because that's what he has always done. When he was 17 years old, sitting on a bus, videotaping himself, his whole thing was talking about how, just trying to own the libs. His whole thing is antagonism. Yeah. That's his entire shtick. Yeah. And so this is not based on policy. None of what's happening right now is based on improving the United States. It's based on antagonizing everyone who isn't MAGA. Yeah. And then by proxy also securing that 35% support base so that Donald and his poll numbers can't go any lower than that.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. As long as he's got that base confirmed and in his corner, that's as low as he's going to go.
Yeah. And Bob, I think it's because it's in the light of the whole, like, Joe Biden's old and he's not going to survive, and this is why we are where we are. That's why this whole, like, Trump obvious medical, and mental whatever is happening, and the mainstream press basically just ignoring it is such a big deal. I mean, there's just people checking in that have, Shauna said, as someone who's seen a family member die of congestive heart failure, it's fascinating to me that Donald Trump clearly has it, slowly dying right in front of our eyes, and yet the national press hasn't covered it. Increasingly puffy face, whose right eye can now barely keep open, thickened ankles that have ballooned in the past 10 months, swollen hands, now often covered in makeup to cover contusions. The national press is supposed to follow the body, and they can't even seem to do that. I mean, the fact that he's quite obviously trying to hide his hands from the camera, that there's story after story about them trying to hide his ankles, right? And we're still in the middle of, there was a cover-up for Biden?
Right.
Seriously?
And bonus points to Governor Walz for just going right for the jugular, right? Going right for the. He said, I mean, he literally said "fat ankles" in his remarks the other day. I mean, it's just like, oh my God, that's where we are right now. But that's, I think, helping all of us to realize, oh yes, we're seeing what we're seeing. We're not being gaslit anymore, and that's a nice feeling. But God, the cover-up of Donald's health condition is also, I think, a major story. I mean, granted, he's at that age where things start to go wrong, so it's completely expected. But on the other hand, it's the cover-up. And they've always done this from day one, from 2015 on. Donald has always lied about his health condition.
We've never seen an actual medical record, Bob. Not even after the quote-unquote assassination attempt. I mean, it's just.
Well, the other thing is that I think the deception that Donald is able to pull off is the fact that he's always had this motor mouth. He's always been able to say a lot of words, but none of those words are making less and less sense as time goes on.
Yeah.
But I think the press is under the misapprehension that because he's still kind of a motor mouth, even though it's more and more gibberish as time goes on, that, well, that's okay, that's fine. And when Joe Biden, in his cadence of speech, was slowing down, they automatically jumped on that and assumed that he had or he's suffering cognitive decline or whatever Jake Tapper was writing about.
Yeah.
So I think there's a level of deception there too, and it may be some self-deception because clearly Donald is declining day by day. We can all see it.
Someone was saying, I mean, because you can see him side by side with all these world leaders that we know what their actual height is and all that stuff. And it's like someone said, it's not a big deal that he's 5'10" and 300 pounds. It's a big deal that he has to tell you he's 6'3" and what does
280
he say?
or something. Or
180?
230. I think he says 230.
I mean,
just the very act of lying about his medical condition indicates that there is something to lie about. That's the thing. That's the sort of the elephant in the room here. That the reason he had to dictate to Dr. Bornstein in 2016 his medical letter for the press indicates that there was something to cover up. And the question is, what is that thing?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if we're going to make a big deal about Joe Biden's staff keeping the press away from the Oval or whatever, or making sure that they're not seeing what's going on behind the scenes, even though all indications showed that Joe Biden was fully engaged with all the things that are required to be president, the fact is that the same sort of thing is happening with Donald's health. And while they're sticking him in front of the camera, it's not indicative of someone who is a healthy person.
Yeah.
Just because he's out front doesn't mean he's automatically healthy. He's very rapidly declining, both in terms of his cognitive abilities and his physical health.
Yeah.
Quite obviously.
Yeah, and this is all on record, these cabinet meetings. When this all comes to an end and everything comes out, that, they just sold their souls for this demon. And also the whole party. Stinson said no foreign enemy could ever dream of destroying America as fast as Trump and Republicans have. I mean, and I'm telling you, this is why they're desperate to cheat, Bob. We were just saying that was an earthquake in Iowa last night. Democrats flipped a seat. Trump won by 20 points.
Flipped
Republicans lost
the seat by 10 points. I mean, it was it wasn't close yesterday.
No, it wasn't close.
Yeah. So
incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, there's just story after story, right? Lisa says FEMA employees who attempted to sound the alarm that we're facing a Katrina-like disaster due to 47 and his administration gutting the agency were put on leave overnight as the wannabe dictator found out. They sent a letter of warning to Congress. I mean, it is just Jody and I were talking about these news cycles. Between this and the politics bar. And the Bob Seska show.
Bar.
And the Bob. Thanks for giving her 2 minutes off last week with going on vacation, but I mean, it's
the
just
politics bar.
There it is.
But somebody said that yesterday, right? That it is because they know he's declining.
Yes.
That this is like authoritarianism turned up to 11, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he literally yesterday said, "I'm the president. I can do whatever I want."
He did say that.
Right?
Yes, but he's not a dictator.
No.
He said, yes, I'm the president. I can do whatever I want to do. That's an exact quote.
Right.
And moments earlier, he was saying, oh, I'm not a dictator, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's you just described being a dictator.
He goes like, well, I stop crime, call me whatever you want. It's like, okay. By the way,
I'm just at that
congratulations.
point now, Stephanie, where I just go, yeah. I see this stuff happening. I don't even articulate words. It's like,
Bob, congratulations on finally being able to go to a restaurant in D.C. Trump said yesterday,
right.
half the restaurants closed. Half of them. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, because nobody could go because they were afraid to go outside. Now those restaurants are opening up. New restaurants are opening up. It's like a boom town just in the last, 10 days? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Nothing he says is even vaguely true.
Well, that's what makes us feel like we're going crazy.
Right.
Because what they're doing is they're addressing non-existent problems. This has been Donald's problem all along as we observe him, is that he says all these crazy things, and we go, why is he saying that crazy thing? Oh, that's right. He said that crazy thing in reaction to something that he's entirely invented, whether it was the 2020 election. I mean, yesterday at the cabinet meeting, between ass-kissery going on, RFK Jr. was talking about that gigantic whopper lie that the wind turbines are killing whales,
What?
which has been so repeatedly debunked. The wind turbines are not killing the whales.
Well,
I got this information from NOAA, and they know a thing or two about oceans.
Yeah. Well,
So,
drive a mile with a dead whale on your roof like he has, Bob, and then you
Right.
can talk.
Yeah.
He's obviously an
We
expert.
go, why are they doing this? Oh,
well,
that's right. It's fiction.
Yeah, Trump and RFK Jr. will move to pull the COVID vaccine off the U.S. market, according to the Daily Beast. Every sane member of Congress needs to fight this effing insane move with everything they have. I mean, that's all I can say, Bob, is, public outcry. If they can change the Cracker Barrel stupid effing logo, we can say we want our vaccines, right here.
I mean, I was on vacation last week. I still don't know what the thing is about Why are they so upset about the Cracker Barrel thing?
Who cares? I don't have the bandwidth. They caved. They're like, okay, we'll go back to the old logo. I'm like, who? Oh my God, really? We're in a full fascist takeover, and who cares about? Okay.
Yeah, I know. I don't give a flying F into a rolling donut about the Cracker Barrel logo. Why is this? Why are they so upset?
Because they're the snowflakes.
Exactly.
Let me just say, in a totally unrelated story to the Bobby Kennedy, the warning: there is a massive COVID surge going on right now. The current CDC has been instructed to not report it. It is running rampant, so please use caution. I mean, again, Bob, I have to hope there's enough outcry that, we have a choice at least to get a vaccine, right?
Yeah. Right. I guess 400,000 American deaths in Donald's last 10 months in office, first time around. I guess that wasn't enough. It's just, okay, yeah, let's try to up the ante on that one. And that's exactly what's going to happen. If it's not COVID, a resurgence of COVID because of lack of vaccinations or the unavailability of vaccines, it's going to be some other thing that's going to come along, because this kind of instability and negligence cannot go without any disaster. Disaster is attracted to people like Donald Trump.
The waste, I mean, not just the authoritarian part of it, Bob, but the waste of taxpayer money of sending these troops to cities all over that don't
And
need
now they're
them,
just
that didn't ask
cleaning up
for. Yeah,
trash.
and this is right. James said something so funny about the National Guard members being forced to pick up trash because there's no crime for them to stop in D.C. Like, wow, at least our massive defense spending is going to something mildly productive. I mean, is Pete Hegseth going to use that as a recruiting tool? Like, look, you get to, like a prisoner, pick up trash because, you're sent on these useless missions over and over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy who sent 5 other kids to die in his place in Vietnam now has American military personnel picking up garbage on the National Mall. Suckers and losers, we can debate whether he actually said it or not, but the fact is that this act alone, given that Donald Trump got 5 deferments from the Vietnam draft, sending 5 kids to die in his place, and then is now engaged in this. National Guard troops, you're going to be picking up garbage.
Yeah.
That is so utterly disrespectful, un-American, unpatriotic. It's staggering to see it happening.
Thank you, Bob. On top of that, coming from a veteran, he cut the orders for the troops at 29 days, which means now they don't get per diems vital to cover missed jobs and bills back home. These troops are most likely bored and pissed.
Yep.
I mean, they here in L.A., remember, Jody? They spoke out.
They did.
They not anonymously about what this mission was in L.A. They're just standing around.
Yep.
I mean,
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, engaging with my Hal Sparks optimism, my optimistic take on this is that it may not last very long because
Yeah.
obviously, as we saw with LA, they were deployed away from Los Angeles. The same thing may happen in Washington
Yeah.
D.C. and
Wait till they get to
subsequently
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I'll be interested to see
my daddy was a cop on the south side of Chicago. Yeah,
I'll be
he'll-
really interested to see how Governor Pritzker handles the situation with Donald wanting to deploy troops to Chicago, because Pritzker, I mean, those were fighting words
Yeah.
the other day.
Good for
He's
him.
not. I mean, he actually went straight after
He did.
the Trump staffers.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
Absolutely.
saying they're complicit.
Absolutely. I found a fantastic reel from Chicago DNC Sexy Liberal that I posted yesterday because we had Chicago's own Hal Sparks on. We did some great Governor Pritzker sound, who was at Sexy Liberal Chicago. Yeah. Go on. Try it in
Outstanding.
Chicago. That'll be the night Chicago died. All right. We love you, Bob Seska. Thank you for coming back. I'm going to listen to your show right after this one because I.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It was a
Okay.
fun show yesterday. You'll enjoy it.
Jody
There's
makes
lots
it
of good
weird.
news, lots of heroes of democracy. Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
We love you, Bob Seska. Well, CPAP machines are the worst, right? Who can sleep at night with that mask and hose strapped to your face? But without it, breathing is disrupted, and if you have a higher risk of dementia, stroke, heart disease, or premature death, the bottom line is if you snore now, you are at heightened risk of requiring a CPAP machine later. So now is the time to stop snoring. One of the smartest, fastest, easiest ways to stop snoring is Zipa. Zipa is the comfortable doctor-designed mouthpiece that can stop snoring as fast as the first night. Don't be fooled by imitators. Zipa was proven in a 600-patient clinical trial, and with over 500,000 units sold, Zipa is the stop snoring device that we trust. No more being nudged awake for snoring. No more sleeping in separate rooms. No more feeling tired and foggy all day due to lack of sleep. Look, this may be your last best chance to solve your snoring problem now, or face having to wear that CPAP mask later. Zipa, that's Happy Z spelled backward. I want you to try it with my special discount. Get 20% off and free shipping if you visit zyppah.com. Use that promo code SNORE. Again, the promo code is SNORE at zyppah.com.